She is a songbird, renowned singer, soul-stirring vocals. The music has pierced through many souls and ears, warmed thousands, probably millions of people, honestly. Her name is the acclaimed Amanda Black. Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you good?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, Mo?
Listen, I'm great. Finally, I have you in studio. I just feel like there are people whose presence you need to experience at some stage or the other, right? For whatever the reason. And I guess that is the power of what you've been able to express through your career. So thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
It's crazy how all good things come to an end, but they also all start somewhere.
Yes.
Your story is a good one. It hasn't come to an end, but it started somewhere. So we're going to go back to where it all began, right? And I don't know how it's going to make you feel, but I can't wait to find out. So let me go back to Amazulu.
Yes.
Is there like a little intro you want to do, or we just go straight into it?
Vuleka, vuleka. That's my intro.
I love it. We're going to go back to where it all began.
Oh, man.
It is my first hit on 947. The incredible Amanda Black with Amazulu. She was drifting away. Are those tears, madam?
No. They are still inside.
This was your first hit.
Yeah, well, yes.
and you were drifting away during that song. Where were you?
I was literally. I seldom hear the song. Like, I seldom listen to it. I perform it all the time.
Right.
But so it takes me all the way back every time I listen, because my voice is different. I'm different. Like, so in my mail, it's like, oh my, like I literally just went back and I'm like, yes.
Yes, a girl from Kua. Doing
yes,
it.
I'm like, yes.
I mean, let's talk about that. What on earth was happening in your life when this song dropped? Where in the country were you even?
I had just moved to Johannesburg.
Okay.
I was 5 months here.
Right.
In Johannesburg from Eastern Cape. I moved in January 2016.
Yeah.
And then I was like, because I was fresh off, the television competition.
Oh, Idols.
Yeah, based on it. Yes. Don't mention names.
Oh,
like,
come on. No. Which, by the way, came to its finality now, but wow. Yeah.
So I was fresh off Idols the previous year. So I was like, now I want to perform. I'm performing.
Sure.
Trying to get gigs, trying to, hi, I was on Idols. Like, I have a voice and I have a guitar. Just give me a stage. I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I was fresher from that. 5 months in Johannesburg, trying to figure out how do I even start?
Yeah.
And then obviously the label hit me up around May. So label hit me up, was like, hey, we've seen your videos, we've seen you, and we see your thing. We like your yabo, and we want you to come through. Then that's how it happened. And literally recorded Amazulu same month
that you arrived.
Yes.
Oh,
same
after
month.
the deal.
After we spoke, it literally happened in a space of a month.
Wow.
So in that same month, agreeing and signing and everything, recorded Amazulu, and that's literally my mind space now. It was like, oh, okay, what? And I remember that it was the first night in studio when I started writing, because I freestyled half of the song.
Oh, really?
And yes, and I remember I was scared. It was my first time in studio, first time meeting Raf, everybody.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, okay, now I have to be impressed. What is happening,
Yeah, because this is the big time now.
This is it. I'm here now.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. They're like, okay, you want us to switch off the lights? I'm like, yes,
because these lights in Joburg are too bright.
Yes, man, these eyes. Okay, cool. And then I was like, cool. And I heard that they played the beat, Amazulu.
Yeah.
And I listened. I was like, okay. I'm like, okay, switch off the lights. And then I just stood in front of the mic. I'm like, okay, just do.
So
it.
you recorded the song in the dark.
Yes.
That is powerful.
Then I just started singing.
I've never heard anybody tell me that they recorded a song in the dark.
Well,
who was around you in the room? Who was in the room?
In the room.
Well, let me say, who else was in the room that night?
Who else was in the room? Oh, my word.
That we may not have seen if we were there.
So in the room was I remember, but I remember Raf was in the studio, Strava was in the studio.
Sure.
Lunatic was in the studio. Christ was also in the studio. Shame if I forgot anybody, because it's
fine.
been a couple of years. But yeah.
But now tell me quick.
Yeah.
There's a whole thing around coming from small towns and moving to big cities like Joburg or Cape Town or eThekwini. What was that like for you in those couple of months? Obviously, you had the idols sort of experience, but then now it's you essentially on your own in a way, right?
Yeah.
What was that like? Was it like
Scary.
Jane comes to Joburg?
No, it wasn't like Jane comes to Joburg. But I mean, I'm a Lali girl at heart, but I grew up in the burbs, you know. So it was scary. It had more to do with what I was here to do. So that was the scary part. Like,
right.
I moved all the way from home. I left my mom, which I was my mama's baby me.
What did you say to her when you left? What did you say to her?
Kalokum, I had been saying this. So for her, it wasn't even a shock. I had been saying this during high school. I'm like, so when I turn 18, I'm going, ne? We agree.
And
like,
what would she say?
She'd be like, okay. Did I leave when I was 18? No, I left when I was 22.
It's still fine.
She was like, no, I don't think you're ready, babes.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I know.
It's gonna swallow you up.
But she was mad. Like,
Yeah.
she was so supportive. And yeah, when I left, she was like, go do your thing. Well, yeah.
And you did your thing.
And I did my thing.
Wow. Amanda Black is hanging out with us. Well, we got bright lights in the studio. I hope you don't mind.
No, I don't.
And we're chatting about where it all began with Amazulu and so much more. Stay with us. It's going to be a hell of a chat. You on season 11 of Idols. Do you remember the song that you auditioned with?
Titanium Sia.
Oh, wow. That's a jam.
Definitely. Definitely.
That's a jam. That's a jam. You know, with first hits come lots of other stuff, like many other firsts, because you're now thrust into the realm of fame.
Yes.
What were some of those firsts for you that you experienced because of Amazulu and what happened in that earlier part of your career? Many firsts that you experienced.
Many. You were okay.
I mean, obviously the fame was...
Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, did Idols prepare you for some of those firsts, like the fame?
Definitely did.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, because that is a very big first, but it evolved when it was not Idols, Amanda, when it was Amanda Black. Yeah, it definitely was it was a bit different because there it's the show. People know you because of the show. People know and love the show. And then now I'm on my own. Like, people are seeing me, just me.
Sure.
And treating me just as me, judging me just as me. I'm trying to pinpoint like what could be.
And how did that make you feel now that you're like the center of attraction in a way when you look at, who's really hot and big in the game? How do you feel about being stared at and looked at and analyzed and criticized and loved?
It's a lot.
Yeah?
The loved part. Love it. But somebody said, you can't just take the love. You need to take both. And I'm like, I get it. But for me, the experience has been, I've had to learn a lot to trust myself because people always have an opinion. And in the beginning, it was very much about people liking me.
Okay.
Yes. Coming from a perspective of Idols where people liking you is a very big plus for you to be on the show.
Yes.
And then as well in the industry came to say, oh, it's the same. People need to like me. And that's how I kind of went into it. I hope they like my music. I hope they like me. So in the beginning, it really hit hard when there was the other side. There were the people that loved me, and then there were the haters.
What were the haters saying though?
It was the haters. It never makes sense because you can't say anything about the music, which is the core of the thing.
So whatever criticism you got had nothing to do with the music.
No,
what was it about then?
Visually, whatever it is, how I dress, because I went through that a lot, still do.
So you mean visually, like your appearance, how you look,
appearance, how I look. Because I hadn't done the blue braids yet. I was.
Oh, I remember those.
Mohawk,
I remember those. Yeah.
I've been through many, but I did come through with my mohawk. That's literally how I came through. Amazulu, that first whole year.
Sure.
It was my mohawk, and so I never really understood when now people are saying, "Oh, my natural hair." Like, I kind of came in with it. Even on Idols, I had my natural hair.
But why do you think people were, criticizing or analyzing you at that level about appearance? I mean, are you saying people don't just consume what they listen to? It's also about your appearance. And how did that make you feel? I mean...
I came to understand that that it wasn't just me. It wasn't about me. It was a comparison.
Okay.
Yes, it was a comparison to this is how people dress here. And imagine Yafika. Like this girl needs to get in line.
Don't come here with your Zlali fashion.
No, listen. And you know, I've always been a rock star. So even coming in, like I was like, yo, I'm me. So I remember a specific moment where I put my outfit together, which is what a normal everybody does.
With no stylist.
No stylist.
You styled yourself.
Yes. So I'm thinking, yeah, yo, I feel the dope. Hey, Abandu were like, Amanda, obviously it's the comparison. I promise you, no one can say you are ugly.
Right.
Ne? It's always you need to.
Like who? And who were you being compared to anyone in particular, or just kind of this is how it's done?
Like this is how the ladies do the red carpet. Amanda needs, and those are the comments. Listen, this is how the ladies do red carpet. This artist needs to get in line. We understand she's new and she's all young and cute. There were literally comments like that. She's all young and cute and excitable, but she needs to know that this is, she needs to get in line. And unfortunately, I never got in line.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if we fast forward to now, are you still getting that, or have people just kind of said, you know what, like that aunt in our family, we can't change her?
People are afraid of people who are different and are not afraid to be different. So I'm still pretty much get that. Because listen, I can go on a tangent just because I feel like, I want it to look like this today. I want to,
sure.
But people are afraid of what they don't understand, and people are afraid of what looks just like them when in their normal life.
Yeah. So what is it that you'd like people to understand about you?
That do I really even care at this point? I'm not trying to convince anybody to be like me. I'm not trying to convince anybody to be a certain way. I've understood who I am as an artist, and if people look at me and want to be like me, which God forbid don't, because you need to be yourself.
Sure.
I always promote that. Like, you're in Funbanjing. I'm like, no, don't do that. I'm me. There's no other version of me. There's just me. And there's no other version of you.
Sure.
So what I'd say, what people should take away from me just being unapologetically me is that you should be and be okay with being you and authentically you.
Sure.
That's the only thing. But at this point, I'm no longer trying to make people understand me. This is my message, and this is my healing. I'm literally just here to do that. So me understanding that kind of makes those, the trendings and the whatevers hit a lot less. But I'm human, so sometimes like, how can they say that?
Yeah, because recently they were saying something about you. I think were you in Lesotho or something like that?
It wasn't Lesotho.
Where was it? So
Maseri Park.
Yeah, please take us through that for somebody who missed it. Because what I caught was that people weren't happy with your appearance or how you were dressed at that particular show. What was going on, and why were people saying all that stuff?
I mean, first of all, Skyle, the trending itself was based off of one person's perspective.
Right.
And then the picture went viral. I wasn't even on Twitter, and I was just getting calls, people asking me how I am and stuff. So the actual conversation was on that picture. It wasn't even about the performance. It wasn't... Other people who were at the show didn't have that kind of response. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but
sure.
I look at both the contrasts. There were people who all they had to say was, yo, I'm so glad you came. My song, you sang my song. Yes. It was amazing. So for me, I think people have this expectation. I always say at my shows, I'm not an entertainer. And that is, I understand, I work in the entertainment industry.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, there's nowhere else I can do this music thing because they've boxed us in here.
Sure.
So for me, I think what happened in the outcry from people is that my hair wasn't combed. There were people saying I didn't comb my hair. I don't own a comb. Right?
Yeah, you've done some plaits there right now.
Yeah, just the way they came out of my scalp, I think people were really mad because, hey, it's become a look. It's become I don't want to say fashion because there's a space for fashion.
Sure.
There's a whole industry for fashion where people literally, this is what I do. I'm not. I don't do that. Listen, if it were up to me, I'm gonna be.
I want to hear if it were up to you.
If it were up to me,
yes.
Look, I said this to my family, and my mom and my aunts were like, "Oh my I'm like, listen, one day I'm going to get on stage naked because this thing has got to stop. I'm an artist. Literally, I art. Everything I do on stage.
Yeah.
Everything I do in studio. Everything that I do, I put my spirit into it. It's spiritual.
Sure.
So for me and every other artist, I feel this whole thing on this is how you must look and this is how you must present yourself. For me, I just feel like we've come very, very far from what we're actually here to do. And now we're more concerned about how we look and how we do on red carpets and whatnot and whatnot.
And ultimately, people need to take you as you are. And that's the bottom line.
100%.
As they have been. And there are a lot of people who are not as vocal as the haters. Totally.
There's more love than hate.
Okay, in just a moment, we'll talk about Love is for Mahala. In fact, we won't talk about it. We'll play the song because it's part of where you're at right now.
Yeah.
But we're also going to touch on, you know, having put out so many hits and then having to continue that throughout your career. So yes, Love is for Mahala will come through next. It's one of her latest offerings.
I need to be the one who takes you home.
Move over, Ariana Grande, right? Because Amanda Black does it better than you.
No, I do it different.
She's my guest today on My First Hit on 947. 2017 was a massive year for you because you cleaned out at the Summers, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out how you navigate a world where you put out hits and then you got to put out more music that kind of, by expectation, might also have to be hits. How do you deal with that? And how do you deal with the fact that you're not always going to have a song that is #1 on iTunes or on the top 40 on any chart?
That's no longer my hey. It's no longer, because before I came in the industry, I didn't even know about the systems. So I didn't know, this is what this means. This means you're big, this means you're not.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to navigate through first understanding, this is how the things work here.
Right.
And then doing it and then chasing. And then realizing, no, this is not what I'm chasing. So for me, I remember my second album is where I was battling it the most, because now I came out of, my record label and now people are looking at me like, now what, she's going to fall off.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going to happen now? And then the pressure that came with that, obviously also the sophomore scare.
Sure.
People are saying, sophomore, shame, you mustn't expect too much, hey? You must be ready for anything because it can go. So that kind of thing. So with Power, it was really so much that it was, I need a hit. I need. But luckily for me, when we're in the music creation stage, I literally, and my team can tell you that, I fight it. I'm like, we're not here. It doesn't matter what's on radio. It doesn't matter what's hot. We're here to create. Because once I do that, then I get into my head and it messes up the creation part. So since then, especially after Power, with all that I needed to prove that I have it. It's my juice. This is our juice.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's forever flowing.
So when we moved from that, it really, even in my personal life, me growing, it moved from that to, we don't have to make a hit. I don't know what a hit is. Scale it up.
Right.
When we were making Amazulu, we didn't know it was going to be a hit.
It just kind of happened that way.
We dropped the song and then pushed. People are like, what's this? And then it just went.
Yeah.
So even now when I create, we're not, I don't care what's happening. And sometimes the guys are like, hey, but then this is I don't care. What we create here is what we create. And when we release it, if it's a hit, it's a hit. What makes it a hit? If people play it.
Then that's what it is.
Yes, because people are going to love it anyway.
Sure.
Because if I believe in it, that's the only thing I'm going to release. Because if I start releasing songs for it to be a hit, you're going to be hearing some really whack songs.
Yeah, and maybe you might end up finding yourself in spaces that you don't feel are sort of true to you, right?
100%.
So then let's talk about Love is for Mahala, which is, one of the songs on your upcoming project. Let's she just lights up.
I love what I do.
What does that even mean, Love is for Mahala?
Love is for Mahala. In the society that we live in, it's been made into such a commodity. But what people don't understand, or what we all don't understand, is that love is not the thing that people are making a commodity, because if it's a part of a transaction, it's not love.
Right.
So we mistake it and we say, your love hurts, or relationships hurt. People hurt people. The decisions we make hurt people, hurt ourselves. Love itself in its essence, I came to realize, and why I wrote the song was when I started accepting myself and loving myself like deeper now. The versions of me that I didn't like, growing up not liking my complexion, going back all the way and collecting those people, which are me, and realizing that love is free. Like, I don't need to work for it.
That's beautiful.
I deserve it.
That's beautiful.
Just in my brokenness,
sure,
in my ugliness. So I deserve it.
In a sense, this song is possibly a lot deeper than some songs you've done because there was an element of introspection, having to go back, etc.
All of my songs.
Or it's a different realm, yeah.
It's I tell you that because when I look back and I listen, every time when I work on a project, I listen back. I go to the very first song.
Oh, lovely.
And I listen to everything. And
Sure.
I look back and I actually reflect. And with this album and with this song, it's just another evolution of me.
Sure.
In another version of me now in this lifetime, now in 2023. This is what I've come to understand.
Sure.
And love is for mahala. If you have to buy it,
Yeah, I was about to
it's not
say,
love.
give us dates, even for the album, for example.
It's coming out next week.
Well, congratulations.
The 17. I'm super excited. I've been
Sure.
holding on to this album for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm more anxious than most because I'm like, hey, people need to hear this. It needs to come out.
Sure.
So yeah, 17th of November, next week, Friday, From My Soil to Yours is definitely coming out.
Phew, Amanda, I didn't even realize time is up. My producer was like, all right, let's bring it in.
Wrap it up.
But listen, it's been an absolutely beautiful conversation that I've had with you. Thank you so much for sharing so much with me today. And I'm looking forward to the brand new album. And I hope that even the haters will love it.
They will. Thank you so much.
All right,
bro.
we're going to wrap it up with Love is for Free, Love is for Mahala. Amanda Black on 947. Check it out, get it. Show her the love you've always shown.
I've been on war with my Flava on 947.